So they reach the cafe. They find Jake sipping on his coffee while the the cafe owner is pouring him a cup of coffee. So all of them get in. Finley stands by the door with his arm on his gun. He hasn't pulled it out, but his arm is laying on the gun just in case. So Tommy goes up to Jake, and then he asks the cafe owner for a cup of very hot tea. And then he turns over to Jake and asks, "So Jake, how's the meeting?" Jake looks unfazed and he says, "It's none of your business, you knob." Tommy becomes a bit irritated, but he doesn't do anything. And then Tommy proceeds to say, "I heard what you're trying to do, trying to kick me out, weren't you?" Jake doesn't even look up to Tommy. He just nods his head and says, "Tommy, you're not fit for the BPSE. You're just too destructive." So, so, the cafe owner gets, Tommy his hot coffee, and Tommy takes a sip before saying, "It's really not bad," said by Tommy. And then Tommy proceeds to get the mug and smash it into Jake's face. Jake's face burns and he screams. And then Tommy proceeds to give the cafe owner £100, and all the cafe owner says is cheers, and he walks away. And then Tommy kicks Jake in the stomach, in the mouth, in the throat. While he's down, Jake tries to get up and leave, but then that's when Finley points his gun to Jake's head and says, "If you leave, I'll put a bullet through your head." Jake proceeds to sit down, and then before Jake can even sit down, Fletcher kicks him in the stomach, putting him down on the floor. And once Jake is on the floor, mayhem begins. The gang is just stomping on him, kicking him, standing on his throat. And the cafe owner just watches. He doesn't do anything, he just watches. And it gets to the point where Jake is now in a pool of his own blood. So now the group, Arthur and Fletcher, lay down Jake on a table, and then Cheslin proceeds to remove Jake's boxers and trousers. And then Tommy gets a long broomstick, and before Tommy can do anything about it, Madison McKay, one of Jake's classmates, steps in the cafe. Jake screams to Madison, Madison, help me, you prick." Madison just looks at Jake, and Madison proceeds to say, "Don't get me involved in your fucking business." So that happens, and then Cheslin asks Madison, "Can you record this?" And without any hesitation, Madison says, "Yeah." Jake feels betrayed by his own classmate and by basically school. Madison begins to record, and Tommy does something devious. He shoves the first bit of the broom up Jake's bum. Jake screams in pain, but no one does anything. Fletcher proceeds to say, "That's what happens when you mess with us." Then Tommy shoves the whole half in. Jake is still screaming. And then Finley puts a bullet to Jake's head and says, "If you scream, you'll be dead, and I'll kill your whole family." In front of your little sister. Jake has a little sister who's about 7 years old. So then, with a final push, Tommy shoves the whole broom up Jake's bum, and then Tommy pulls it out and it's all bloody, and everyone laughs. Even the cafe owner just laughs and laughs. And while Jake's on the floor, Chislin proceeds to curb stomp Jake. And when that's all said and done, they all go outside because they know that they've done what they've done. Then all of them, except for Madison, get on the dirt bikes or quad bikes. But Chislin asks Madison, "How are you going to get back to the hotel?" And Madison says, "I'm not broke like you guys. I can order my own private car." And then Fletcher says to Madison, "Don't forget to send me the video or else you're dead." Madison chuckles a bit and says, "Alright," and they ride off. They ride off, and they finally reach the hotel. Now, they've reached the hotel, but I'll point a few shifts to two different people. This is in the hotel's locker rooms, and these two people are prefects of West Jimish High School. It's also the same high school as Jason Rose goes to. So, in the locker room, and the first person there is very not short but average height, shy, skinny boy named Malcolm, and this buff, tall, beautiful girl called Sam. They're in the locker room, and then Sam talks to Malcolm. "Did you remember? Did you hear what they did to Jake?" says Sam. Jake says, "Yeah, I heard. Even Cheslin was involved." And then Sam chuckles and says, "I remember Cheslin. You, me, and him and Finley went to the same primary school, remember?" Jake nods, and then Sam says, "I remember he used to bully you. Him, Finley, Fletcher used to make you lick the mud off the boots and get on your knees before they beat you up." Jake laughs nervously because he doesn't want to remember those stuff. And then Jake says, "Well, I remember you and Tommy being racist to the black kids in primary, as to so far almost killing one of the black kids by hanging them out of the window." Sam doesn't look different. She knows what she did, and with a surprised smile on her face, she says, "Well, it was fun. I like Tommy. Besides his, his ignorant, behavior, he's fun to be racist with. I remember one time when me and him drowned this black girl because she stepped on my shoe. Sam smiles, fades, and both of them are just in the room, the locker room. It's quiet. And then Jake says, Sam, you don't have any regrets. And then Sam says, no, I don't. Primary with Tommy was the best days of my life.